Yeah, what is HANA? We didn't discuss what is HANA abbreviation. HANA means
High
high
performance
performance analytical appliance. Okay, so when it is started, the idea to storing the data into memory, the idea is started in 2006. Okay, and they released a ramp up version, the trial version, to some hardware vendors like IBM, Fujitsu. So they gave this software to that hardware vendors, and they're trialing that whether it is working fine or not on 2010. So after that, some corrections they have given to this SAP. They have made that changes for that hardwares, and finally they released SAP HANA 1.0 SPS 03. What is SPS? SPS means support package stack 03 in 2011. The general availability is 2011 SPS 03. They didn't release SAP HANA 1.0 SPS 1, SPS 2 to normal customers. Only for general availability is from SPS 03. After that, in 2012, they come up with SAP HANA Cloud Platform, HCP we used to call. Now we are calling as SCP, SAP Cloud Platform. And then all this entire SAP business suite they moved on HANA. Business suite means what? All these your ERP and your ECC6, SRM, CRM, all these comes under business suite. So they tried on HANA database. If everything is fine, then finally 2015 they started SAP S4 HANA. Means they released a new application called S4 HANA instead of ECC6. The next release is S4 HANA when it comes to ERP. So which only supports HANA database. Till here, all these things, 2015, you can install all your business suite applications, means your ERP, ECC, SRM, CRM, everything on HANA. Or not only HANA, you can install on any other database. But from 2015, when they released S4 HANA application, remember S4 HANA is an application, HANA is a database. Most of the people are getting confused here. S4 HANA, HANA are different. ECC6 is S4 HANA, your Oracle is HANA. You got the point now? The underlying database is HANA database. What is S by 4 HANA? S4 HANA. SAP SAP suite for HANA database means whatever the softwares which comes under this SAP suite, means your ERP and your SRM, CRM, SEM, all these on HANA database, that is called as S4 HANA. Okay, so after that they released SAP HANA Express Edition. They have added uh, some additional tools here. In 2017, the biggest change, SAP HANA 2.0 is released. Now in HANA, we are getting two flavors. One is SAP HANA 1.0, second one is SAP HANA 2.0. Is it fine? HANA 1.0 and 2.0. When it comes to SAP HANA 1.0, we are having different versions in that. HANA 1.0 SPS 03, not 01, SPS 03 to HANA, after that 04, 05, 06, 07, 08. Up to here, it is only a single tenant database. What is single tenant and multi-tenant? I'll explain. After SPS 8, they released SPS 9, HANA 1.0 support package stack 9, 10, 11, 12. Then after 12, they stopped HANA 1.0 support packages. They released HANA 2.0 SPS 00. From SPS 0, 1.0 SPS 09 to SPS HANA 2.0 SPS 00, you can install single tenant or multi-tenant. Up to SPS 08, only single tenant. From SPS 9 to SPS 12 and HANA 2.0 SPS 00, you can install single tenant or multi-tenant. But from HANA 2.0 SPS 01, now latest version is HANA 2.0 SPS 07. All are supported for multi-tenant. You cannot install a single tenant database. So when it comes to HANA 1.0 SPS 03, 04 up to 05, HANA is a appliance. HANA is a appliance. What is appliance? Home appliances. Home appliances you call. What are the things? Your refrigerator, your washing machine, your water purifier, your television, all these are called appliances, home appliances. Why we used to call it as appliance means which will have software as well as hardware. Pre-installed software will be there on that hardware. So you won't get this software separately. So some are the hardware vendors are there like IBM, Fujitsu. They are supporting from the starting onwards. So at that time only two to three, IBM, Fujitsu. Another thing is I think HP. Only these three hardware vendors are supporting HANA database. Now almost all hardware vendors are supporting HANA. So up to HANA 1.0 SPS 05, it is only appliance. Means if you want to install HANA database, you have to purchase that. You have to go with one hardware partner, IBM, and ask them to provide you the HANA appliance. They will pre-install that software in that, and they will provide you. So, but when you start that appliance, it will ask you for one SID and some instance number. Some basic configuration is there. After doing that configuration, you can attach to your application. You can install your application there, and you can start using that. How you are doing installation now? You are installing the operating system first, right? You are installing operating system first. On the top of that, you are installing database, right? And you are installing an application. This is what your single tenant application. You are installing application. So this application will connect to this. So on the top of Oracle database, you are installing some ECC, right? That's it. That is what called as single tenant database. So what is multi-tenant means? If you go with a multi-tenant database, you can install multiple. You will be having, when you install your HANA database, you will get multiple tenants there. You will get multiple tenants there. On one tenant you can install one application, another tenant you can install one application. So on one tenant I am installing some ECC, on one tenant I am installing some BW. That is what your multi-tenant. So in one apartment we are having different flats, right? So in one flat you are residing, and another flat some other one ECC, and you can install BW on some. And here you will get one thing called as system DB. Tomorrow I'll explain what exactly system DB is. So we used to call the basic thing called as system DB, and this is your tenant 1, and this is your tenant 2. So only one database, you will be having different containers. This container will have all the programs, reports, screens, and all your ECC related business data here. And this container will have all the BW related programs, reports, screens, and BW related data. So this is what your multi-container database. So you can install HANA database. In that you can create multiple tenants. If you want, you can install multiple tenants, and each and every tenant you can install a application. Remember one thing, you cannot install application on system DB. It is just like your ASCS. For example, if you take this as ASCS, and this is your PAS, this is your AAS. So this ASCS will have some common services, like NQ and message server. This NQ and message server is common for this application and this application. The same way here, we will be having some few common services. That common services will be having in system DB, and every tenant will have its own services. Tomorrow we'll see that entire architecture. You got the point? By installing one HANA database, you can create multiple containers in that. On each and every container, you can install a separate application, ECC. Now here BW, and you can install. You can create another tenant here. On the top of that, you can install SRM, CRM. So that only this hardware resources you are using. On a single hardware resources, you are installing multiple application servers. But nobody is doing this. You will be having this provision, but I don't want to share my common operating system, and your CPU, RAM, everything is shared between these two applications, right? Obviously your performance will be decreased. So we'll discuss all these things tomorrow. Okay, this is what your multi-container database. So from HANA 1.0 SPS 03 to HANA 1.0 SPS 12 and HANA 2.0 SPS 00 up to here, you can have single tenant. Up to here SPS 8 you can have single tenant. From SPS 9, 10, 11, 12 and HANA 2.0 SPS 00 you can have single tenant or else multi-tenant. But from HANA 2.0 SPS 01 only multi-tenant database. Now this single tenant database is obsolete. Okay, and I told you, uh, so whenever your entire database is storing where? In HANA database, entire database is storing is where? In your
RAM.
RAM, right? This is my RAM. My entire database is saving is here. Then this RAM is a volatile memory. This is my physical memory, right? This is what I used to call physical memory. Physical memory means RAM. This is my hard disk drive. So all the data is residing in physical memory. And this physical memory is a volatile memory. Yes or no? This physical memory is a volatile memory. If something goes wrong, your power failure happens, suddenly your system crashes. What happens? All this memory will be gone. So entire your database is gone. That is the reason I told you. And another copy of the data will be stored and persisted at a hard disk level, right? For that you will be having some directory structure here. HANA data and HANA log. And you will be having another directory structure called HANA shared and HANA USR SAP. You know what is USR SAP, right? USR SAP is what? Standard SAP is installation directory. This USR comes under your Linux operating systems. Under root, you will be having USR directory. Whatever the new software you install on Linux operating systems, it will be installed under USR directory. This USR has taken from there only. So this HANA data and HANA log. So where your entire database is saving, it is saving in the RAM. Also it is saving another copy of the data in your these two directories. These two directories are called as persistent layer. These two directories are called as persistent layer. HANA data and HANA log. Interview question, if somebody asks you what is persistent layer, means HANA data and HANA log, these two directories comes under persistent layer, where it is residing in your hard disk drive. HANA data and HANA log, these two are called as persistent layer. So whatever it is, how it is updating into this data directory and log directory. See, for example, when you okay, I'll take a picture instead of this. Okay, when I created some user, okay, whenever I do transaction, whenever I do any transaction, what happens actually? Data will generate, right? Yes or no? If I do any transaction, data will generate, any database. Along with that data, some log entry also generates. Means exactly similar copy of the data. For example, if I create a user, if I create a username Agalya, it will be saved in your data directory. Same another copy of this user will be stored in this log directory. Why? You know, database is not only for storing the data. If something happens to your database, it has to provide security to your data. That is the reason it will save two copies. One will go into the original data, will go into data directory. The backup of the data will go into this log directory. These two directories are that your HANA data and HANA log. These two are called as what we used to call it as persistence layer. Interview question. So now I created a user. Okay, Agalya in memory. I have said commit. Immediately the data will come into log directory. Immediately the data will come into log directory first. Okay, later it will go into data directory. When it will go into data directory means there is one concept called save point. There is one concept called save point. Whenever this save point triggers, for every 5 minutes, for every 5 minutes, this save point will be triggered automatically. It will trigger at that time. Whatever the updated information we have in this physical memory will be updated into your data directory. Now save point triggered, this Agalya user comes into your data directory. Why it is loading into this persistent layer all the data? One thing is, if this memory gone, you can recover from this data directory and log directory. That is one thing. And second thing is, to make your database consistent, it is having save point functionality. How? For example, your save point is not triggered. Your save point is not triggered in your system. What happens? Continuously, whatever you do here, everything is, now I created some other user called Srinithi. It is stored where? Here, right? Now
Log.
I create another user called Naveen. It is stored where? In the log.
Hana.
So generally this data directory is will be having more memory. For log will be having less memory. Log files, only each and every log here will be having some log segments. Every log segment size is 10 MB. Prior to that, I want to show you something. Okay, I'll continue here. So whatever you update here, immediately whenever you say commit, it will go into your log directory. Okay, it is keep on updating into log only. So suddenly your system goes down. This log directory will have everything. This data we will be having backups, and log also will be having backups. Generally for this data directory, for this data, we do daily backup. Daily one time we take the backup of your data directory. This log directory's backup, log backup, every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, these logs will be updated. Now, what is time now? 8:30. It is 8:30. Now I created some other user called Holly. It will be immediately updated into your log directory. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now I created another user, another user, another user. After 15 minutes, all these users, Agalya, Srinithi, Naveen, Holly, everyone is backed up. All users are backed up here. Now suddenly your system goes down. If you want to start your database, I told you when you are starting your database, this RAM is empty now. It is a volatile memory. So it will read all the content from your data directory and it will load into RAM. So up to where, for example, up to 99 transactions we are having in this data directory. Up to 99 transactions. This 100th transaction, 101, 102, 103, all these 103 transactions are already backed up. Now this log directory also don't have this users information. Now up to 99 it is loaded into RAM. So where is Agalya, where is Srinithi, Naveen, Holly? Okay. For that you have to apply this backup to your memory. So it will take so much time to do all these things. Yes or no? So if save point triggers at 8:45, sorry, 8:35, what happens? All these users will be backed up to this data directory. Now 8:36, my system got corrupted. So now it will read from data directory up to Holic. I'll get from data directory. Immediately the starting of your HANA database is fast now. After that 8:35 to 8:36, I created another user called Mohan. That user will be in log directory. Only I have to apply this Mohan user to this. So your HANA database is starting faster or not? If this save point triggers. If this save point is not triggered, what happens? All these log files will be backed up. I have to apply first to data directory, then I have to apply all these logs. That is the reason SAP made this save point for 5 minutes. If you want, you can increase, but don't do that. By default, every 5 minutes, this save point will be triggered. Whatever the updated information you have in this your memory will be updated to your data directory to make your database consistent. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts here?
Yes. Not.
The save point concept, that the delta merge concept are very important here. Okay, I'll show you picture otherwise. Okay. So you all working on some bank and you are using some application by using instance means what, guys? Anyone?
Application.
In
And the
database instance, I'm not calling database instance means database related processes and your memory structure. Memory plus processes collectively called as instance, right? You updated your Agalia user everything here. So immediately they are going where? So you updated all the users, 4 users. Immediately they are going to your log segments.
log segment.
It is not going to your data, right? Whatever you updated in memory instance, it is going into your log segments. When this every 5 minutes, when you say commit, it is immediately going to log segment. Every 5 minutes, what is happening? Save point is triggering. When the save point triggers, all the data is updated into data values. So when you start your database for the first time, from where it is reading? From the data values. If you are having up-to-date information in the data volume, it will take some less time to start your database. And your database also consistent. You need not to backup, you need not to restore all the related files to your data files again and into memory, right? So to make your database consistent, they are using the concept called save point. So who is aggressive here? Log segments or data volumes?
Log segments.
Log segments. First it is writing into log segments. Then only it is updating into data volumes. Who is writing all the information to data volumes? It won't update from log segments to data volumes. Remember, it will update from memory only. Who is doing that? The save point concept is doing that. Whenever the save point triggers, for every 5 minutes, it is keep on the up-to-date information which is there in your memory, it is updating to your data volumes. And what is persistent layer, guys? What are the things we used to call it as persistent layer?
Hana data and Hana log.
Hana data and Hana log. See, you are having some different directories here in our Hana database. The important 4 directories are Hana's. Under root, you will be having Hana directory. Under Hana, you will be having 3 subdirectories. One is Hana data, second one is Hana log, third one is Hana shared. Hana data, Hana log, and Hana shared. Hana data is for your main data. The actual data will store in Hana data. All the logs, the backups will be stored in your Hana log. Hana shared is a installation directory. When you install your Hana database, it is a installation directory. All the exes, your kernel, your Hana studio, and your profile, your instance information, there is something called your resident HDBL sim, everything, all the tools of this Hana, everything is stored in your Hana shared directory. And you will be having USR SAP directory. You know this USR SAP, it is a standard SAP installation directory. All you will be having your SID and your host agent will be there, your solution manager, diagnostic agent, all this configuration part will be having in this USR SAP. So USR SAP is different. This Hana data, Hana log, Hana shared is different. USR SAP will be under root. Under root directory, you will be having USR directory, right? Under that, you will be having SAP directory. Under root, you will be having Hana directory separately. Under Hana, root /Hana /data /Hana /log /Hana /share. These are all different. Why I am saying slash directories means this Hana database you can only install on Linux operating systems, not on Windows operating system. Remember this. Only Hana database supports Linux operating systems. Only 2 are there, SUSE Linux and Red Hat Linux. This is another Linux also, Oracle Linux, but nobody is using that. Most of the cases you will get SUSE Linux, or else few people will install on Red Hat Linux also. That is the reason I am saying not Windows System 32, that content here. I am saying root means your Windows program files. In Windows you can say your Windows program files. Under that only you will be having all the software installs, right? So under root, what all the operating systems HANA database supports? SUSE Linux and Red
Red
Hat
Hat.
Linux.
Red Linux.
SUSE Linux and Red Hat Linux. We'll discuss tomorrow all these things. And what is the this directory structure will have some limitations, file system limitations. The size of this limitations are, so you will be having HANA data, HANA log, HANA shared, USR SAP, where all these four directory structures are related to your hard disk. Remember, not memory. Your HANA data, HANA log, HANA shared, USR SAP. Four are installed on your disk,
Hard disk.
not memory. Remember this. All your SAP services, all your tables, everything is residing in your memory. Okay, I'll show you that also if you want. It is that, yeah. See, database instance means what? Your processes. You'll be having some different process. In Oracle also you'll be having DB writer, log writer, checkpoint, SMON, PMON, right? All these processes and memory structure. Your SGA, system global area, will be there. That too, your memory, RAM plus CPU, processes and memory structure, both collectively called as database instance. You know this. For SAP instance, what is that? Your dialog, background, updates, full, that processes, and your role memory, extended memory, heap memory. That is your application instance. Database instance means database processes plus database memory usage sequence. And your, when comes to volumes, data volumes and log segments, it is your hard disk. Your data and log will be at hard disk. This is different structure. This is memory. This totally memory. Your RAM and CPU, this is your hard disk. Yes or no? Collectively called as, these all structure collectively called as your database management system. For your database to run, you need processor, you need RAM, you need hard disk. On the hard disk, you'll be having your data, log, shared, USR SAP. In a memory structure, you will be having different types of memories. How is HANA occupies memory, and processes will be having some index server, name server, preprocessor. These some service, some process are there. That is called as instance. So these two are logical. These are logical things. In memory structure, we will be having tables, buffers, and cache. And process comes under name server. Tomorrow we'll discuss this structure, entire structure. Okay. This is logical. This is physical. Hard disk is physical. Entire logical structure is at your RAM. Okay. And when it comes to this four structures, four directories, what all the directories we are having? HANA data, HANA log, HANA shared, and USR SAP. So for this, you will be having some memory limitations. What all that memory limitation we'll see now. For HANA data, sorry, I can see slash HANA. Slash HANA means before this HANA also you will be having some structure. What is that? Under root. Slash is root. Root under HANA. Under that you will be having data and slash HANA log slash HANA shared and slash USR SAP. Generally, regular types, you require some 50 GB of memory for your USR directory, right? That 50 GB for USR SAP directory, that everybody knows. This, for example, your RAM is 1 TB. Your RAM is 1 TB RAM you are having. Then this data size should be 3 times to the RAM. 3 into your RAM. So how much? There is no limitations. There is no limitation for your data directory. No limit is there. 3 times to the RAM. So you can have 3 TB data. If you want to go with the 5 TB data directory, yes, you can go. And for this log directory, what is log, guys? Half. half into RAM. Here you will be having limitation. The limitation is 512 GB. Only 512 GB your limit. Your large directory should not exceed more than 512 GB. Most of the people will say 1 into RAM, but not 1 into RAM. If I am having 1 TB means I cannot have 1 TB of log directory. So half into RAM means how much? 512. Yes, I am having 1 TB RAM. So my log directory should be how much? 500 GB or 512 GB. And your HANA shared, this directory is 1 into RAM. 1 into RAM. So the limit is 1 TB. Limit is 1 TB. For example, you are having two, how much? Tell me this thing. You can have 3 TB RAM, 3 TB hard disk for data directory. Yes, 3 times to the RAM. This one, if you are having 1 TB RAM, this one half of RAM, 512 GB, and this one 1 into RAM, 1 TB. Your shared directory size is 1 TB. Okay, if you are having some 2 TB RAM, now tell me, your RAM is 2 TB, your data directory should be, your data should be how much? 6 TB, right? And your log?
1
1 TB.
No, the limitation is what? 512
512.
GB only.
Yeah.
Maximum limit is 512. Even though you are having 2 TB RAM, half of the RAM, but there is a limit 512 GB, and your shared memory, shared size
1 TB.
2 TB means
1
1 into RAM means you can go up to 2 TB, but the limitation is what?
1
1
TB.
TB.
1 TB.
Even though you are having 2 TB RAM, your log size should be 512 GB. That's it. And your shared memory 1 TB. And USR SAP 50 GB. And there is another thing for backup. Every day you take backups, right? You will take two types of backups, some tenant DB backups, system DB backups. It is maximum limit is 7 into RAM. So if you are having 1 TB RAM, you can have 7 TB of memory for your storage capacity for your backup. So these are the limitations. Remember these things. Interview questions: HANA data, HANA log, HANA shared, USR SAP. These four things are important. HANA data is 3 times to the RAM, HANA log half into RAM, HANA shared 1 into RAM. But there is some limitations. You cannot go beyond. Even I'm having 2 TB RAM, I'll go with 1 TB of log directory. No, it won't allow you. I'm having 2 TB RAM, 2 into 1 into 2 means 2 TB of HANA shared. No, it won't allow you. So maximum limitation is 1 TB for your shared and 512 GB for your log directory. And for your data directory, you can have limitless. You don't have any limits. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Any questions here?
Sir, for backup, I just have a doubt because most of the case there must be a third party backup and restore things will be there, right? So coming to here, backup where it will get stored. Because they have that doubt, like 7
Yeah.
into RAM.
Actually, good question. So entire is my hard disk only, right? This space, everything is my hard disk memory. So if my hard disk corrupted, my data gone, my log gone, my backup gone. That is the reason nobody will use that same hard disk for the backups. They will have some third party backup tools. There you will be having backup. It is a best practice to have that. But in our system, I'll have my this hard disk only. No, there is a provision. You will be having some HANA backup directory. There your backup will be stored. If you want to give some third party location, you can when you are taking the backup, it will ask you for the location. If you give some NFS, network file system storage, it will go there. And if you are having some third party tools like net backup and something called there are so many backup tools, you can use that. You can give some different location. Giving a different location is the best practice.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
But we can take the backup, the file system backup as well, right?
Yes, the file system backup is entirely different. That comes under infra.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, you are combining both things. You are doing database administration here.
Okay, sir. Okay. That's a confusion.
Okay, right.
It's clear.
Clear?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, what are the 4 important directories? Hana data, Hana log, Hana shared, and user
And
received.
share is
Okay, fine. When it comes to license, when it comes to Hana licensing part, so when you install your Hana database, by default you will get 90 days license, temporary license. How much? 90 days. The temporary license, permanent license, both are there. Temporary license will be for 90 days. After that, you have to install a permanent license. Okay, you install your permanent license. Permanent license means it will have some limitation. Okay, after reaching that permanent license, okay, 2023 30th October is your final day. Before that only you have to renewal your license. Otherwise, this license will be expired. Again, your temporary license will be installed. That is for 28 days. Before that 28 days, you have to apply for new license. You have to apply a permanent license. So we'll be having temporary license and permanent license. When it comes to this permanent license, we'll be having 2 types of licenses here. One is enforced license. In Hana database, the license are based on your memory. How much memory you are using on the top, based on that your license cost will be there. So there are 2 types of licenses. One is enforced license. Second one is unenforced license. Enforced license means, for example, you are having some 400 GB RAM. You are having 400 GB RAM. So it won't take 400 GB license cost. So it will ask you how much of memory license you need. So if I take 250 GB licensed memory, so if you are using some enforced license, when it reaches 256 GB of memory, everything is stored in memory, right? When it is reaching 256 GB memory, and it will give you some tolerance memory. Tolerance means 1 or 2 GB. After that, your database will go into hang state, unresponsive. It will stop, you can say. After reaching 256 GB plus some tolerance, 1 or 2 GB, it will allow you. Then what you need to do? So if it is hang state, you have to renewal your license. That is one thing. Or else you can restart. When you restart, your memory will be cleared. So if you don't want to include all the things into memory, then the problem will be resolved. If not, then you go with some backing up some unnecessary tables and apply some compression technique on that. Everything you can do to again you want to gain your memory to of 256 GB. You can do anything. If it is an unenforced license and you have taken for 250 out of 400 GB, you have taken 256 GB of license, right? So when you reach this 250 GB of license, it won't stop your database. It will allow you to continue, but it will throw you the message. Your licensed amount of licensed memory is reached. Please renewal your license. If you want, you can renewal your license, or else you can say you can do restart of your HANA database, and you can compress. You can apply some compressed techniques and to reduce your data footprint in your license. You can do this. So you will be having 2 types of enforced, unenforced. Enforced means after reaching the value, it will give you some tolerance and it will go into hang state. Unenforced means after reaching your memory, it won't go into hang state. It will keep on allowing you up to 400. Up to 400 GB also it will allow you, but you have to apply renewal your license. So it will give you some time. So if your production system is unresponsive immediately, what happens? Your business will be affected. So for your production system, you go with unenforced license. It won't stop your day-to-day transactions. Any doubts in this license? The temporary license, when you install, by default temporary license will be installed for 90 days. Before that 90 days you need to install permanent license. Okay, you install that license, that is also expired. Permanent license means not permanent, actually it will be having some value, the end of maintenance value. If you reach it that date, again the temporary license will be installed for 28 days. But don't go with this. After temporary license, permanent license, you apply for new renewal and you apply that. There is a provision: enforced and unenforced. Enforced will hang your system when the reached the threshold value of that licensed amount of memory reached. Unenforced means it won't stop your database. It will make you continue on the database, and it will warn you. It will give you the message, please renewal your message, or else it depends upon the situation you do. If you want to renewal, you renewal, or else you can try to restart, reboot, and you try to compress the data on your database. You can achieve this thing.
So you
Is
can
it?
continue with unenforced license.
Yes, that is your wish. That is your wish. Okay. See, when it comes to license, see, this is my license screenshot. So the same, how you give a SAP license, you will be having SID for that, hardware key, installation number. So the expiry date it will be having. If it is an enforced license, you will be having SAP underscore HANA underscore ENF. This is your enforced license. The license type is. If you are having unenforced license, you will be having just SAP underscore HANA. You don't find this ENF there. So here you will be having system number, installation number, SID, your hardware key. You have to provide all these things. Based on this only, they'll create a license for you, and you have to apply on that.